Gospel and Homily for the 6th Sunday of Easter, Year B. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus said to his disciples, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Remain in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my own joy may be in you and your joy be complete. This is my commandment: love one another as I have loved you. A man can have no greater love than to lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. I shall not call you servants any more, because the servant does not know his master's business. I call you friends, because I have made known to you everything I have learned from my Father. You did not choose me, no, I chose you, and I commissioned you to go out and to bear fruit that will last. And then the Father will give you anything you ask him in my name. What I command you is to love one another." The Gospel of the Lord. Malcolm Muggeridge, a well-known personality, and a TV crew were making a documentary on Mother Teresa in her home for the dying in Calcutta. But they had a problem. It was quite dark and there was insufficient light for filming, but they decided to proceed anyway, despite the fading light. To their surprise, the film turned out beautiful and the light was just perfect. It was a sort of mysterious warm glow that was surprisingly bright. Muggeridge was absolutely convinced that the light came from the love emanating from Mother Teresa and her co-workers in that very home. Just like the sun's rays warm the earth, as it is warming up the earth now, and we're in 5th of May, so the light of God's love will warm our stony hearts if we let it. But we can always shield ourselves from the sun and live in a house where the drapes are drawn. But instead of staying in the darkness, Jesus wants us always to bask in the light of his love and not allow the powers of darkness to deceive us into thinking that God doesn't care about us or that his love is an illusion. When St. Therese was dying, she heard a sinister, mocking voice which insisted that God had abandoned her and that there was no afterlife. Today, the only way to remain in the light of his love is by obeying his word, as we heard in the reading. But, having said that, if we know he does not withdraw his love from us even when we desert him and don't obey his word. Just like the sun does not cease to shine when the sky becomes overcast, we may distance ourselves from God, but he doesn't withdraw his love from us. To prove his love, Jesus laid down his life. We heard that in the Gospel today. He laid down his life for us, his friends. And it is only with a close friend we can share our inmost heart. Staying in the sunshine of his love means hiding nothing from him, especially our sins. When Adam and Eve sinned, they hid from God among the trees of the Garden of Eden because they couldn't face him after what they'd done. Now, when people say they don't believe in God, it may just be they can't face God because they have elected to stay in the dark and indeed deaden their conscience. Referring to conscience and referring to Mother Teresa earlier, she said, for instance, of abortion, She said it destroys two lives, the life of the child and the conscience of the mother. Last Sunday, we heard that if we cannot be condemned by our own conscience, we need not be afraid in God's presence. We can live in fear and buy into the fear of this world, or we can make it our intention to live from love and be a light to the world. That does not mean you will never feel fear again, that your life will be trouble-free and it will be a cozy ride all the way. It does mean that when fear strikes, when problems crop up, when you are struck by the dark night of the soul, you will have the mental, spiritual, and emotional resilience to ride it out, grow from it, be stronger for the experience, and shine your light even brighter. Will I be the love that is missing in this world and help reclaim this darkened world for light? The choice is always ours.